What's going on? It's Wednesday. Got about an hour and a half of daylight left. I'm in Pinchot State Forest. Gonna go set up in a random campsite. Let's go. Hello? Well, that's weird. All right, I made it to camp. I have only gone about 9/10 of a mile to get to camp. I had scoped this campsite out back in January when I did that bailout camp up over on that ridge. And when I was planning on coming out today, had a few campsites in mind, but this is the one I went with, mostly because you may notice with the the haste, I just got to camp and got everything set up. There is weather on the way. Now, it may miss me early, but it's definitely going to rain tonight. So yeah, I brought a tent. This is my Trekker tent from Underwood Aggregators. I only paid $55 for this on Amazon last year, and I've taken it to Forgotten Camp a couple times, just basically car camping. But I've wanted to get it out onto a trip, if you can call a mile in a trip. But I want to get it out, give it a test. It's supposed to rain, so I haven't tested the waterproofness of this. The weather right now is probably in the 60s. I should probably turn on my thermo drop. And where's my thermo drop? Thermo drop. There it is. So the weather for tonight, it's currently 55. It's actually a little colder than it was supposed to get, but it's going to start warming up. So I've got my summer gear. I got my summer quilt, and I brought my emergency quilt just in case. I'll show you the setup I got in here real quick before it rains. So for my sleeping pad, this is my Climate Static V. And then this is just, it's a Climate sleeping pad cover. And don't really need it for sleeping, but what I like about it is it's got that pillow pouch right there. So you can stick your pillow in there and it won't slide off your pad, which I really like. And then I just got my summer quilt. And I've got my utility quilt, my emergency quilt, just in case it gets cold. I've also got my hoodie. I've got a base layer shirt, and I've got my jacket, just in case it goes really crazy. But I think I'll be fine. Now, one thing I forgot about last week was it's like the spring burn ban. So I had that fire last week, and I probably shouldn't have. I didn't realize it until afterwards, so whoops. But it was small. So tonight, no fire. Not going to need it for heat. And with rain coming, it's not going to really matter anyway. So the other reason for that is that you can probably tell it's very foggy. But some of this might actually be smoke. Over in Luzerne County, I don't know, maybe 30 miles from here, direct line, there is a massive brush fire. I don't know if they got it under control yet. Out at Campbell's Ledge in Duria. So, yeah, it's just that time of year. So, yeah, no fire. I don't need to cause a forest fire. So just a real simple one. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. So it's going to be, I might just hike right back out. There's owls out there. Might hike right out the way I came in. Or if it looks like it's going to ease up a little bit, there is a really small loop I can do. I'm going to sit here in my food bag there. I've got my my Owl's hoagie, which is tradition on these little short trips, and a Snapple. And then for breakfast tomorrow, I got my iced coffee and some Pop-Tarts. So that should be plenty. Beautiful campsite, though. This is really nice. Nice little fire ring, which I will not be using. There's some firewood here. And, I mean, you get a tent over there. I could get a hammock in here easily. A couple of them, actually. And this seems really close to the, the trail. But if you've ever hiked the Pinchot Trail, you know that this is like a mile off the trail for campsites out here. Usually the fire pit would be right here. It's really weird. So I was just thinking about, as I was setting up, that campsite back there with all the gear in it, I hope they're all right. The only thing I can think is that they were out here last Wednesday when I was out here during that snow squall. There was a snow shovel there, there's a chair and a sleeping bag. Really weird. So I hope that person's all right. I'm gonna check the logbook on the way out and see if there's anything written in there, and maybe give it a couple days and maybe swing back by with a garbage bag and grab that stuff if it's still there. They might be coming back. I don't know, but yeah, I hope they're all right. That's the only thing I think, because that did get kind of crazy, and I had my tarp pulled down pretty good, and I still got snow on me in that wind. So if you were just out here with a sleeping bag, that would be nuts. And that's in that storm. That's the only thing I can think, because we haven't had snow since then, and there was a shovel there. I don't know. It's still pretty early. It's like 7:30, 7:31. The sun officially sets in about 5 minutes. But it's dark in here under the trees. And you can hear that wind blowing. Definitely weather coming this way. The forecast now says like 11, 12, something like that. Maybe 1 a.m. Might get some rain. Possibly a thunder shower. That's okay. It will definitely give me a test of this tent though. Am I in frame? Barely in frame. All right, well, I'm gonna get myself situated in the hammock, in the tent here, and just kind of relax a little bit. If the rain gets really crazy, or I hear some coyotes or owls or something like that, I'll record that. Otherwise, see you in the morning. Well, good morning. It's just after 6 o'clock. And that moon is incredible. It's just setting right now. There it is, setting. Oh, it's gorgeous out. It's probably in the high 50s. I can't reach my thermal drop right now. It was 62 in the tent when I got up. A couple degrees cooler outside, but it's really humid. So I'm just laying here listening to the birds, watching the moon, and waiting for that sun to come up. Well, I'll talk to you then. morning again. It's about 7:30 now. I just laid in the tent for an hour and a half and listened to the birds and watched the fog roll through and the moon set. Really nice, gorgeous morning. You can tell behind me here. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like it got down to about 60 last night. There's a couple degrees warmer under the vestibule here. I did close the tarp up the tent up last night because it did rain, and it rained pretty good. So let me show you the tent. I'll flip the camera around, and as you can tell, the tent is wet. But it did pretty good. There's a little moisture on the inside, but I think that's more condensation from my breath than seepage through the fabric, because the humidity was really high. So nothing leaked, nothing dripped on me last night. I stayed nice and dry. So I'm pretty impressed for what I paid for this little tent. It did pretty good. We got about a half hour good decent rain, like straight, and then there was like little spurts of heavy rain, and it did really good. I'm pretty impressed. I might wind up getting some kind of like waterproof spray and spray it down just to boost its performance a little bit. But I don't know that I need to. It did pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna eat my my breakfast and then hike on out of here. I think I don't think I'll head straight back to the car. I'll do something different. I'm gonna head this way. This is the way I came from. So let me eat, get packed down, and get on the trail. Looking at the weather for today, it was supposed to be raining now. It's not, as you can tell. That weather changed throughout the day yesterday. I was keeping an eye on it. And now it's saying maybe a chance of rain around 1 o'clock. So that's plenty of time for me to make this little loop that I want to do. All right, gonna have breakfast, get back down. All right, so while I'm breaking down, I figured I'd go over this. I didn't really do a video on the sleeping pad. I was using that Sleep and Go, that cheap Amazon sleeping pad for a while when I was doing my tent camping, which I don't do a lot of, but and it worked okay. But Climate, a lot of times, if you pay attention, will run these crazy sales on their stuff. They'll basically like half price or free. Like this pillow was free. I just paid for the shipping. They'll do these promotional things. And this is like the Pillow X. And it's not, I like a thicker pillow, but it's a good base. So last night I had this down, my hammock pillow, and I just stuffed my jacket in there. And it was a nice pillow. Their stuff's pretty light. It's pretty durable from what I can tell. I haven't really had a problem with it. I did get one of the free pillows that had a bad valve, but it was free, so who cares? But the X-Frame, or not the X-Frame, the Static V. There's the Static V. This I really like. I know some people don't like this kind of design they got going on, but I find that really comfortable. And I slept really good on this last night. Held its air, and had no problems with it. I forget how long it is. But it blows up pretty easy and packs down really small. I'll put the specifics of that, like the length and width and the weight. I don't have it off the top of my head. It's not ultralight, but I don't really care about ultralight. I prefer comfort on some things over weight. So tent is broken down, super easy, although in the rain that would suck. prefer a hammock in inclement weather. It's got everything kind of packed up here. Gonna have my breakfast here in a second, but I noticed something as I was getting up this morning I did not see last night, and that is there's some garbage sitting right here. Looks like it's been here for a while. So I do have a bag big enough for this. I will I don't know what that is. I'll grab as much of this as I can and get ready to head out. Camp is all clean. Never used the fire pit. Got everything from over here. That's really the only spots I had anything. Leaning against that tree. Awesome campsite. Highly recommend, especially if there's any chance of rain. The trees here really help block a lot of that. So, all right, I'm gonna hit the trail. I'm gonna head this way. I think I'm gonna use some snowmobile trails for this little trek out. Just came from down there. That is the end of the Powder Magazine Trail. This trail across the way takes you up and then wraps you around over near where I was camped when I did the bailout. Just that road I walked down. And this is the Bear Swamp Trail. This is a multi-use trail, snowmobile trail. And I'm gonna take this. I think I've never hiked this trail, so I'm gonna do it today. So just to highlight how weird the weather's been lately, 3 weeks ago, I was over to that Hines Pond campsite. It was like spring. It was in the 40s, I think, when I left. Last weekend, I was out at that camp where I got hit with that snow squall. When I got up in the morning, I had my base layer on, my shirt, my hoodie, my puffy, my neck gaiter, my wool hat, my hood up. It was freezing. That was only about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 miles direct straight line from where I am right this second, and I'm just wearing a t-shirt and a bandana. It's not even 8:30 and I'm already too hot. Bizarre weather we're having. Bizarre weather. I just came through excuse me, I just came through those that little pine grove right there, and I was really surprised that I didn't see a campsite in there. That's like the perfect spot that would have a campsite. All right, here we are. So this would have been my first option to bail back to the car if the weather looked like it was going to turn. This is the Pine Hill Trail. This takes us back down to Powder Magazine, which is the trail I was camped on that direction, and then that way takes us up to the Vista. We're going to stay in Bear Swamp. All right, so only about a tenth of a mile along the Bear Swamp Trail, you come across more yellow blaze. This is the Frank Gantz Trail. I'm going to cross it here, and I'm going to cross it again up here around the corner. Now the Frank Gantz Trail, let me turn you around. Yeah, the Frank Gantz Trail in Pinchot State Forest, don't get it confused with the Frank Gantz Trail in Goldsboro State Park, which is only about 20 minutes from here. They don't connect. Two different trails, two different areas. But the Frank Gantz Trail, a lot of people use as a cutoff for the Pinchot North Loop, because that will also take you back over to the Pine Hill Trail, which then takes you back down to Powder Magazine, which is part of the Pinchot Trail System. The last time I was on it, though, it was really overgrown. Really overgrown. And kind of see what we got here behind me. It's all blueberry. And it was Panda, Matt, and myself. And we were doing the North Loop, and we used that as cutoff. And it was summer. We were wearing shorts. And by the time we got through that section of trail, we were all bleeding. It was really bad. That was years ago. Hopefully they've gone through and, trim that a little bit. But it is what it is. This is what happens when you backpack in a remote forest here. So, and then here we are. So then it comes back in from right here. There we go. There's the yellow blaze right there. And goes across to there. It just loops. Goes right around this access trail. A little weird, but I mean, it doesn't look bad right there. Right in here. But I don't know. This is gorgeous in here. Wow. These look like a lot of oaks, judging by the leaves. Oh, okay. I don't know if the camera picked it up. That was a butterfly in April. All right. Snow squall last week. Butterflies this week. All right. Gorgeous. Tripping over a stick. I come to Pinchot a lot. And this is the first time I've hiked this trail. And it's gorgeous. So if you've got a local area that you go to a lot, it might still hold some surprises for you. Just a piece of granite laying on the side of the road. That right there, that's yellow blaze for the Frank Gantz Trail. We're right next to it. We're gonna turn away from it here shortly. I just looked over and saw blaze. It's like 6/10 of a mile from where we passed it before. Almost 7/10, almost 3/4 of a mile. It's just right there. I think there's another, yeah, here it is. Coming up to another service road here. And is this the one I want? I have to take a look. Let's see what the sign says. Oh no, this only goes to the left. All right, let's go take a look at that sign anyway. So this is the Boundary Line Trail. And I gotta look at the map. This might be the one that cuts all the way down to Bear Lake Road. Yes, that is the same trail that goes down and runs back into the Pinchot Trail right before you get to Bear Lake Road. Oh yeah, you could tent camp this. That'd be cool. Just reaching the very top of Bear Swamp here. I was wondering how easy or hard this would be to cross, because we're not far. The Pinchot Trail is just down there, a few hundred yards, and down there's a boardwalk to get across, because it really flattens out up there. But there's an actual bridge here. That's nice. All right, less swampy than I thought that would be. You may notice the sky is clouding up a little bit, but we're past the point of no return now. Just keep on going. I don't think it's going to rain. They're saying not until 11 or 12, and it's only 9:15, so I still have plenty of time. Oh, we just landed. I think there's a hawk I just saw. Right out in there. Either landed or turned. Big hawk. So hearing two different kinds of nuthatches all morning. Let's see if they'll do it once. Been listening to two different kinds of nuthatches all morning. That right there is a red-breasted nuthatch, and then there's I think it's called the white-breasted nuthatch, and they are the crazy little birds you see every once in a while that run down the trees upside down. They don't stay with their head up like this. They turn and run down a tree like that. They're crazy little birds. These pines out here, it's conifers. They're either pitch pine, they might be balsam fir. A little bit taller than what you see in the Catskills, but we're a lot lower. Without being right up on them, I can't really tell. Could be either or. To the end of Bear Swamp Trail, and I am back to Pine Hill Trail. I crossed 2.5 miles ago. Right up there, right before this turns around the corner, is where the Pinchot Trail comes up. Turns, follows that back down over to that boundary trail, and across over to the south section. I'm currently in the north section, if I have not mentioned it. So I'm going to follow the Pine Hill Trail all the way back. Bet somebody lives in there. Maybe a coyote or a bobcat. Fox, maybe. We got them all in here. That's more bitter. All right, that's the end of the forest road hike. So, not usually what I prefer to do. I'd rather be on the trails. But when you know there's weather coming, and you got access to trails like this where you can make some miles pretty quickly, that's the way to do it. So, The forest road continues out here, goes around that bend, and there's a parking area there. But I'm gonna go up the hill here, spinning around like crazy. See the yellow blaze right there? Pine Hill Trail. It's already cut back across what we came across this morning. And this is actual trail here. And we'll take one detour once I get up here. You'll see that in a minute. And then less than a 5-minute walk from where I just was, we're out to, I think this is called Pine Hill Road. Pine Hill Tower Road, maybe? I don't think there's a, it's not marked here. I think it's Pine Hill Road. Nice little forest road. It's usually gated. Right down over the hill here. And then there's that parking lot. So if I would have stayed on that grassy road back that way, it would have brought me around back out to this. But I'm gonna, this is Pine Hill, keeps going this way. I'm going to go up the hill, go look at the vista. Whew, steeper than you think. All right, I'm up to the top. There's the vista. We'll go to that in a second. Take a look around. I'm gonna walk this little loop. I mean, it only goes right out and around. But I think there might be a little trail out here that goes to a boulder field. Maybe. I was looking from Google Maps. Looked like maybe there might be. If not, no big deal. I'm not going to bushwhack that too much. Oh, maybe this. This looks like a trail. Let's see. If this is what that Frank Gantz trail is like. Let's go to anything. Let's open up. Oh, there's little rock balls here. All right, let's check this out. There's a rock cairn. Oh, that's official. There's a fire pit. A little rocky to camp here. I bet it's an awesome spot for stargazing. There's something over there too, by that tree. Is that another fire pit? So it looked like there's another trail that went that way. That might go over to that little group of pines over there. But once I get out of this, I'm gonna do a really good tick check. Haven't seen any yet, but if I'm gonna get any, that's where I'm gonna get them. Those rocks are slippery. All right, so I saw one small tick. I'm gonna get up here to the Vista, take my pack off, and just do a little bit better check. A little hard to maneuver when you got the pack on. What is that? That's one heck of a drive. Went all the way up on top of the mountain. right, so tick check completed. And I remembered that since I've got my Exos with me, that's my summer pack. I still had my picaridin in there from last year, so I sprayed myself down. Today I'm going to be on the trail for the rest of the day, next 2 miles or whatever it is. That sign just scared the crap out of me though. I was putting my pack down over there on a rock, and it creaked when the wind blew, and it sounded like someone said something. There's nobody here. So I've shown this Vista before. It's pretty nice. Oh, hey, those clouds got closer pretty quick. So I was only camped like maybe 3/4 of a mile over that hill right there. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but right in there, there's some pines. That might be where I was camped. But it took me 4 miles. It turned into a 4-mile hike to get up here. Okay. Yeah, 3.9 miles. So, still kind of sunny. It's getting breezy. I'm gonna enjoy this with no pack on for a minute, and then I'm gonna boogie. I still gotta finish up my coffee. Break time is over. Got the pack back on. Got my trekking poles ready. I've got my socks pulled up over the cuffs of my pants, just to help with the tick situation. And time to head back to the car. So my camera pole, my phone pole, that's back in the pack. I've just been carrying that with me since I've been on this forest tours, but to keep my phone in my pocket because I know there's a lot of descent going back down, and it's a lot of roots and rocks, and the rocks are slippery right now because they're all wet. So I'll be concentrating on not falling on my butt going back down the hill. This little section of trail's taking a beating. Trees down all over the place. We have had a lot of wind, not gonna lie. This might have been a bad place to cross. Alright. That side was too high. The backpack got caught in a tree. Alright. Dropped my poles. Should have gone a little further. A little further down that tree before I crossed it. Yeah, these rocks are dried. They're not as bad as I was expecting them to be. But there is a spot coming up. The nose got, it's not real long, but it's a really steep descent. It's always slippery. Well, that was the steep spot. It was a lot drier than it usually is. I'm okay with that. It wasn't so slippery. Also, I think most times when I come through there, it's winter, and it's usually ice. So that could have something to do with it. This should look familiar. This is the bear swamp trail. So basically, I'm just making a big figure 8. Actually, it's more like an ampersand. Ampersand. Big and symbol. You know, that big crazy looking thing. So next, this will join me back down to the Powder Magazine Trail. Just a little bit down the trail, and we run into Frank Gant's trail again. That kind of paralleled before. Yeah, it's possible to make all different kinds of loops in the state forest. I mean, yes, you do have the Pinchot Trail System, the full 24-mile trail system, but there's all kinds of loops you can make for any size adventure you're really looking for. It's pretty awesome. You can kind of see it. There's a fire ring right there. These are the little red pine plantations. The next group up is the campsite that Dragon, Panda, and I stayed at back in February. It's such a cool section of trail with all these roots. It's really cool. Ooh, that wind is picking up. And luckily I'm only about 3/4 of a mile from the car. So I think my timing is going to be spot on getting out of here. It's going on 10:30 right now. So if the weather holds true to what they predicted, then I should get to the car with a few minutes to spare before the rain hits. Yeah, so the second campsite is right over there. Kind of the very back corner of this section of red pines. That's a nice campsite too. I really like that one. And then just past the campsites, we come back out to Powder Magazine. Went that way last night, camped down that way about, maybe a little less than a half mile. So back this way to the car. All right, so that stuff's still there, soaking wet. I would grab it, but I don't know what's in that bag. I'd rather come up here with gloves and a garbage bag. But when I get down here at the bottom, I'll check the registry box and see if someone left a note about to come back to get it. Maybe they are. Again, I hope they're all right. Let's take a look, see if there's any information. So maybe we left anything. Nothing I see. All right. I'm gonna put some information here and head back to the car. Back to the lot. The only one here still. I'm pretty sure there's probably someone here this morning Usually when I'm camping, as I come by, there's some like locals parked down here, walk their dogs. But don't look like anybody else is out here overnight. So that was a good little trip. A little more than I was expecting. That's so 5.4 today. So call it 6.2 for the whole trip. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Save that track. So 6.2 for the whole 2 days. Not too bad. So I don't feel bad about the basically a mile into camp last night. Well, I can't go on that side. My cooler's in the way. Coming this way. Awesome loop. If you're in the area and you're looking for a spot to just get out for an overnight, seriously, look at Pinchot. You can download a map right from their website, and like I have it downloaded on my phone, and I'm out here a lot, so I know the layout of the place pretty well. Even the trails I haven't hiked, I basically know where they go. I go get my pack off. There we go. Yeah, you can loop together all kinds of trails here. Make whatever adventure you want. And it's pretty much all gorgeous. And I beat the rain. Those clouds are starting to look serious up there. I mean, the sun is shining a little bit, but right there, those clouds don't look friendly. No, sir. So that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this, hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. And I'm going to go avoid raindrops and go build stuff. See you next.